Right then, hello again. How you doing? I hope you're okay. We're just going to have a little video today about the media, and in particular TV, radio and the visual aspects that the media offers. It's a huge topic, huge subject, and one that we need to really think about in terms of how the media influences sport in general. So we all know what TV and radio is, and some of us might know what the visual services are that are available to us, but we'll talk about them in a little bit more detail later. Now, TV is in quite an exciting stage at the moment because it's really evolving in terms of what is available. If we went back 50, 60 years, maybe a little bit longer, it was a grainy black and white picture where you couldn't make out the ball in whatever sport it was, and the viewer didn't get a great experience. It then evolved into the colour times when there was a better picture, and people started to become more interested in it as television was more readily available to every household. It really became big business though when Sky Sports came along. They provided a digital service by their satellite and cable channels, which meant that they got a really, really clear picture and evolved the ideas that were involved and put in the graphics and the analysis like you see with Jamie Redknapp and Gary Neville at the moment. They were soon followed by other companies that were wanting to get some more action because they were seeing that the huge amounts of revenue that were generated. And you can put BT Sport into there, ESPN and various guises that it's had. And they have evolved, along with Sky Sports, into the next level where we're going into HD TV, where you get a better clarity of picture, and therefore they also are able to ask you for more money. Now, why are these so important? Well, actually, the huge amounts of money and revenue that they produce means that they have got control over sport in various ways. So, for example, in the FA Cup or the Premier League, Sky Sports or BT may decide which matches they want to watch and therefore affect the kickoff. They may have some ideas and influences about how many games are broadcast or not broadcast. All these things are taken into consideration and therefore have that knock-on effect into the sports arena. This is then taken further when we look at one of those pay-per-view events, and this is one of the visual services that is available that I mentioned earlier, where you have to pay to watch a particular sporting event. And if you think about the boxing matches that happen in Las Vegas, they charge £15-20 or whatever it might be so that you can watch that service that you wouldn't get anywhere else, that exclusivity, and they generate extra revenue from that. Again, it's a hugely important thing because the way they generate more money is by advertising. And recently, the Super Bowl, it cost $4.5 million for a 30-second advert. So if you put that into context, the companies are regenerating that, but obviously they're also influencing what you see. What is it that you're shown? Why are certain teams more broadcast than others? It's an interesting topic. Now, if we add onto this the other area, and that is the radio. Now, the radio seems to be getting less and less popular, but it still holds an important place because it is even more widely available. In general, the radio is free. You can get access to it in your car, on holiday, abroad, whereas some of those other services aren't really available. You may have to pay for it, or it may not be on television, or it may not. And, there's that interaction as well that a lot of people like, with phone-ins and all sorts of other services that are available. There's also been some technical advances in the radio world with it going from the analog stage to DAB, digital radio, which gives it, again, a lot clearer. And more stations are popping up that are broadcasting sport in its entirety. So here is a brief summary of what you need to know. These are the key terms for your TV, visual and radio aspect of media. You need to know about the digital aspect and the changes and how they're moving on to HD. Satellite and how that had the changes in bringing on new technologies and a new era of watching sport. The TV rights and what people pay to actually watch sport and the influences that then holds. And then the pay-per-view idea and revenue, how much money is brought in, and control some of the TV companies have over A, what goes on, and B, what we watch. That has a big influence and a part to play. Remember, go back, watch a little bit if you don't understand it, and then come back and make sure you write it up on your notes for your revision.